you doing, Coach?
All right, good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us. I've got a room full here of the class of 2022 seniors at Velma Jackson, and we're also
Mm-hmm.
recording for Coach Drain and the mother of our teachers here at Velma. We thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, before we get to your experience in the Air Force, I do want to talk a little bit about the class of
Yes, sir.
the class of 2017 at Velma Jackson. You were involved in football, track, other stuff. You guys had a great class. Guys like Janaris Porter, Junkyard, Dylan Kiner, Contessa Lynn, Susan Johnson, Mallory White, Shannon Sims. Just a great class. So obviously, a lot of y'all did some good things. But what did you focus on in your high school experience to making your decisions after you graduated?
Well, I think the biggest part, as far as me joining the military, it was definitely the ASVAB. Keep your grades up too, stay out of trouble, but the ASVAB is so essential in your military career because the higher the score you make, the better chance you have to get into whatever you want to get into, whether it's the Air Force, the Army, Navy, Marines, and then the job you want to get. It kind of depends on what you make on your ASVAB. So if you make the higher the grade you make on your ASVAB, the more options you have. So you join the Air Force. If you make, like, let's say you make 100, which is perfect, great score. The sky is the limit. As long as like everything else is good with you on the medical side, like having good depth perception, having just being physically fit, having good cardio and stuff like that, so you can keep up with everybody else in the military. So I think that was my main focus, is staying out of trouble,
Well, you always do a good
ASVAB,
job of that. You're a great
and being healthy.
Yeah, you were a great student. Now, before we get into the specifics of the Air Force, talk a little bit about what made you decide to join the Air Force out of high school rather than doing the traditional college route.
Well, what made me join the Air Force straight out of high school was honestly I just wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to explore. I wanted to travel. I didn't want to be a broke college student. And I knew for a fact that I could just go to the Air Force active duty and get my college paid for free. And it's something that I'm working on right now, actually.
Well, that's incredible. So you graduated Velma Jackson 2017, and then you joined the Air Force. So take us through a little bit about your journey. What your MOS is, how you train for that, and then and some of the places you've been.
So went to the recruiter's office. I made I can't remember what I made on my ASVAB, but I had a nice little list of jobs, and the one that I decided that I wanted to get into initially was being a firefighter.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was cool. I'm not a desk person. I don't like doing that. I like to do stuff with my hands.
Yeah.
And that was what I was gonna do. But recruiters are they'll tell you the truth, but they'll like kind of like they're like car salesmen, and they're trying to fill up slots. So you need to do a whole lot of research before you get into it. It's a good thing to get into, but recruiters will just put you in the job and not tell you everything about the job. It's just like going to a car dealership. But so went in, was supposed to be a firefighter, but I ended up being like a MP, like a military police. And that's you just ride around in military cars. You got your gun, you got your radio, you catch bad people, and you help people out too. So that's that's the job that he offered me because I was going to leave earlier. He was like, you can leave earlier if you take this job, but he was really just trying to fill a slot. Yeah. So I didn't care. I was like, I'll go. I don't care. I just want to get out of Mississippi. I want to get out of my grandparents' house. And I mean, I rushed it. I don't regret it, but I still feel like there it could have had an even better outcome. Yeah. But the outcome was still good. So I left. I think it was like 11 days after I graduated. I was on a plane headed straight for Texas. Made it to Texas. As soon as I got off the bus, people were yelling at me, screaming. They made us get in formation, and we just marched to this big building, and we had all of our documents and stuff with us that we had from MEPS, and they was just like, all right, give this to the administrators, and we just sat in there and we ate the food that they gave us, just little MREs, just we sitting there eating them, and then we get sent to a dorm. First night was kind of weird. We all had to shower together. There was no warning or nothing. He was just like, all right, get naked, and everybody just looking around like, what do you mean? And so, I mean, that was weird. I thought I was gonna. I had like I don't know if you remember. I had like this high top. I was like, oh shoot, they ain't gonna cut my hair. They would have cut my hair by now. But nah, they went ahead. They sat me in a barber chair and they skint me. And after that, I mean, it was just a whole lot of running, whole lot of classroom work. Air Force is big on academics, no matter what job you get. Real big on academics, knowing your job. Push-ups, sit-ups, and that's life. That's gonna be life for like a couple months. Just a whole lot of running, whole lot of push-ups, whole lot of sit-ups. But if you played any sport, like you good. Like, it's not to downplay the Air Force, but the Air Force is kind of the easier branch when it comes to physical fitness.
That is 100% true. It is one of the lightest ones as far as physical requirements.
Yeah, physical requirements is you don't have to be, you know what I'm saying, super macho, but if you want to excel in the Air Force, it is good to have a pretty decent fitness resume. So be good with.
Now, where all else have you been in addition to Texas?
I've been to Texas. I've been to Fiji. I've been to Indonesia. Wow. I've been to Guam.
Wow.
I've been to Okinawa. I've been to the Philippines. Did I go? I don't remember, but I went to Japan. I went to, and now I'm stationed in Oklahoma. And I was stationed in Hawaii before I got sent to Oklahoma.
That's incredible.
I was in Hawaii for like 3 years.
Wow. It must be difficult to be in Hawaii for 3 years.
Yeah, so hard, hardest thing ever.
And you're still in MP, correct?
I'm still in MP.
Okay, yeah, and that's one thing that we've talked about and looked at in the Air Force. You know, everybody thinks Air Force, you just fly an airplane. There's so much more that goes into it. Like you said, if somebody is a desk person, there are the desk jobs that people got to get paid. People got to work on computers. People have to they have to have a lot of mechanics. I mean, if you want to kick down doors and blow stuff up, you can if you want to. But there's a lot more that goes into military work than just that.
For sure. So there's all types of stuff, Coach. Like you can fly planes. That's a job, but like that's one of like hundreds of jobs. You got accountants. You got the doctors, dentists. You got maintenance people, you got people that fix planes, you got people working in the kitchen, you got people working like a whole bunch of different admin stuff that I don't even know about. Like there's so many jobs. You got the tech guys, the computer people,
Wow.
You got EOD people that handle bombs and stuff. That's actually pretty cool. You got dog handlers, people that put dogs on people that do bad stuff. It's a whole lot of stuff. I think I heard about this dude saying he was a singer for the Air Force.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so much stuff that you can get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and I do, before I get to some of these questions, I do want to talk just a couple things. One, you talked about getting your college paid for. So tell us a little bit how that works if somebody wanted to join the military and use that to go to college. Maybe first.
Actually, you will go to basic training and then you go to tech school.
Okay.
So you got to do that before you start college.
Okay.
And when you make it to your initial base, then you're the new guy. You got to learn your job first before you can just hop into school right away.
Yeah.
After that, I'd recommend you start school as soon as possible because it looks good. It helps you rank up, and it's free. Like why wouldn't you? You know, I was that airman. I was young. I had my own car, own money. I was independent. I was doing all types of stuff. It was crazy. I was doing everything except for school. And if I could go back and just do school and then have my fun, I would have did that for sure.
Absolutely.
That's how it works. You just gotta wait and then do it.
Yeah. Now, and you talk about the tech school. I think it's important for everybody watching now and people that will watch later. When you're doing this, it's not like you're paying to do it. They're paying you to learn. And then you're not paying any rent because you're staying in the dorms, and you're not paying for any food because they're feeding you. So you're getting paid a good little amount of money without the same amount of bills you would have if you were not in the military.
Mm-hmm. And you get free meals, like all the way free, on top of getting paid, and you get a couple college credits. Depending on like what job you get a couple college credits that go towards an associate's, not like a bachelor's, but like an associate's.
Wow.
And that's tech school. You meet a lot of cool people in tech school too.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason that, and I know, and I say this all the time. You know, here at Velma Jackson, you went to school with the same people your whole life, and you were around the same kind of people. And again, you graduated with a great bunch, but it does expand your horizons. I mean, you're going to be around people that are different religions, people that speak different languages, people with different skin colors, all kind of stuff. And it really is the ultimate melting pot to serve in the United States military.
Yeah, it was. It was a real culture shock coming from where I come from. Me and you both know it's not diverse like that. And I get out there and I'm seeing all types of different stuff.
Awesome.
I'm seeing all types of different girls too. It was crazy, coach. Like different religions. Somebody they was like, yeah, I don't believe in God. I'm like, what? Like what? People don't believe in God for real? Like I just wasn't prepared for all that. I was like, wow, this is way different. But
yeah, and I've told these guys, you want to meet some women in the military.
Yeah, yeah. Just be careful. Just be responsible, though.
Yeah, of course.
Be responsible.
I'm not saying do anything irresponsible, but there's definitely a lot to choose from. But I do have some.
Oh yeah.
I got some great questions here, and these are all seniors, class of 2022. This person is from LaTravis Williamson, and he asked,
okay,
did you have other options other than the Air Force as far as other branches?
I did. I had every other option because my like I said, the ASVAB, like take it seriously. If you make high enough, you can get in the Air Force, which is the easiest branch. It's just academics. You just got to be in the books a lot. Marines, Navy, Army, that's easy to get into. You can make a regular score and get in there. But Air Force, honestly, Air Force, you don't have to make a super extra high score, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you look at the resume. It's like the line scores, and just talk to a recruiter, get ASVAB for dummies if that's what worries people. Just get that book, study it, because that's what's going to help out your the initial process with getting in the branch you want to get into.
Okay. No, this is from Jasmine Williamson. She's our Miss Velma Jackson. She is actually signing to go to the Air Force in a few weeks. So she has a few questions. So just bear with me here. And she wants to be a nurse, but she is dead set on the Air Force. So we got a few questions here. The first one is, what educational benefits did you receive?
So if when she gets access to the Air Force portal, it's like there's so many different educational benefits. You can pick up a trade, you can get tuition assistance, you can get you can go do a CLEP. That's like where you just go to the library, read a bunch of informational stuff, and then go take a test.
Absolutely.
And you actually get college credits for that, like real quick on the spot. But TA is one of the biggest things. Tuition assistance. That's basically you getting money from the Air Force to go to school. So that's the main thing I do research on is TA, and maybe some CLEPs and Dante's. It's called DSST, and CLEP is CLEP. That's how I spell CLEP. So those are the main two ones I look at and do research on.
Okay, and then she asked, how easy was the deployment process, and how well did you take leaving home?
I didn't take. I love my people, I really do. But like I was initially I was excited to leave home, but when I actually got out there, like after a few weeks, I was just like, dang, like wow. So I mean, it hurt, but to this day, I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. I feel like it was good to go out and experience all these different places, different people, different cultures, all that. And as far as the deployment process in the Air Force, I'm Air Force. When I went to Fiji, I'm in a hotel. I turned 21. I go to this hotel, and it's a real big hotel. It's called the Pullman Hotel in Fiji, and it's a series of pools surrounding a bar. And around that, it's just a whole bunch of hotel rooms. And in my hotel room, I had 2 king size beds. I don't know why. I was one person. I told them it was just me. I mean, I went there, and I got this big old jacuzzi tub. I got all this stuff, and I'm getting paid to be there.
Wow, that's incredible.
Because technically, I'm on a deployment. And I'm getting paid I think every 2 days I got paid like $400, and right beside the hotel was like a beach. But if I was let's say I was in the Army. If I was in the Army, I wouldn't be doing that. In the Army, I'd be like walking around in my uniform, protecting something, or digging a ditch somewhere, or like depending on like what job you have in the Army. But like for the most part, Air Force, we do like reconnaissance stuff.
Yeah.
But if things get out of hand, we have our weapons with us, so we can protect the assets that we have to protect. But
yeah, I mean, I know
that's how the majority of my
a lot of software technical skills involved in the Air Force. It's not just shooting stuff.
No, it's not.
Now this is from Derek Bush, and he asked, what is influencing you to continue to be in the Air Force?
What's influencing me to continue to be in the Air Force is definitely the benefits that come behind it. For instance, I have a retirement plan. It's called TSP.
Yep.
I put my money into it, and I just have it like just getting pulled out of my check.
Yep.
And it's a real good retirement plan. I think it's like the interest rate on it is like the highest you can get from anywhere. It's ridiculous. I can't remember what it is. And you can even like move the money a little bit so that they invest the money for you, kind of like some acorns type stuff. They invest the money for you in certain funds. If you look it up, it's on YouTube and everything. You can look it up. It's called TSP. And that's one of the benefits. I get free school, like I said. I get what else? I get to travel a lot. If I do travel, I get paid for it. If I get picked up for a deployment right now, and let's say I get sent to somewhere hazardous, if I get sent to, let's just say Afghanistan, I'm getting paid hazardous duty pay. If I have a family, let's say you got kids or whatever, don't get kids this early. It's not worth it. You get separation pay.
Wow.
It's just a whole bunch of extra stuff. You're not paying for housing. So if you just so happen to live in a house and you get housing pay, that's still going into your check. And then there's so many like savings plans that you can take this money and put it into, and now you just got money sitting there building interest. So I think the main thing for me is the reason why I'm staying in is I'm just trying to set myself up for success. Because if I retire out of the Air Force, I'll be 38,
Wow.
40. Because I got in as soon as I got out of high school. So
that's incredible.
So that's why.
This is from Corlin Murray, and she asked, "How did the transition from a normal high school student to being an Air Force airman affect you?"
It taught me a lot of responsibility. Whole lot of responsibility. It taught me to not expect people to hold your hand, and it taught me how to deal with money. So when I got out of the Air Force, I'm coming straight out of the Air Force. I was staying with my grandparents, and they taught me real great morals. Love my grandparents, granddaddy especially. But going into the Air Force, it just taught me so much stuff that you just don't learn everywhere. Just keeping up with stuff, that's a big thing. Attention to detail is a big thing. Being on time, just stuff like that. It turned. I feel like it made me a little more mature earlier, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I'm still Mike. I mean, I'm not a superhero. I'm not all uptight all the time. I mean, I'm still myself.
Yeah,
So
you were always as low key.
I don't think it changed me that.
I mean, you were always one of the lowest key kids around here. But we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for joining us. But I do want to ask before we go, everybody that's watching now, everybody that's going to watch later, that went to the same school, walked the same halls, sat in the same chairs with a lot of the same teachers, but yet you've done some amazing things. So what can these kids do now at Velma Jackson to follow in the footsteps of somebody like you and some of your amazing classmates that you had?
When I say that if I can do it, anybody can do it. I think the main thing is staying out of trouble. Please stay out of trouble. It really hurts me when I come back and I see people that I went to school with. People was like a couple grades under me, a couple grades over me. I'm seeing them in jail. Like, don't get in trouble. Stay out of trouble. Make good grades. Honestly, make decent grades. And study the ASVAB. Stay in shape. If you run in track right now, and you good at running track, especially distance, you could probably go special forces if you wanted to. Like people make the military seem like it's such a hard thing to get into or a hard thing to succeed in. But if all these other people can do it, you definitely can do it. I've went to school with some amazing people. Like off the top of my head, I can just think of a lot of people that would have done great things in the Air Force, Marines, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, either one of the branches in the military. Don't think that you can't do it. Don't sell yourself short because you think you can't do it, because you can definitely do it.
That's incredible. And Mike, we are so proud to call you an alumni. You're just such a great example of what we really look for in a Velma Jackson person. And you're just such a great example. And we're so proud of you here at Velma Jackson. And don't ever forget that. You're a great person, and we're so proud to have you serve our country.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Coach.
As always, aim high.
Plot, fight, win.
All right.
Hope you have a good day. Take care, Coach.